Hi, welcome back to the Power of Model Drawing once again. Now, today we're going to look at more or less than. All right, how do we draw a model with fractions that have more or less than? And this it's actually quite easy, right? The lesson today is going to be quite easy, but it's hard when you do not know how to draw fractions with more or less than. Okay, so let's look at the first example. Now, the total cost of a television set and a vacuum cleaner is $1190. The cost of the television set is 49 less than the cost of the vacuum cleaner. Now, for this fraction, we cannot, all right, very important, we cannot draw arrow. We cannot use arrow pointing. It means that if you start drawing like this, all right, it means if you start drawing the television set is 4 units, and then the vacuum cleaner is 9 units, that is going to be quite wrong. All right, so how exactly do we draw the model for less than or more than when it comes to fractions? All right, now the best way to do it is this. Now the cost of the TV is 49 less than the cost of the vacuum cleaner. So the vacuum cleaner, I would like to call it as one whole, which is 9 over 9. Okay, 9 over 9. Okay, so what I will do is the vacuum cleaner is 9 over 9, which is a fraction, right? Which means the vacuum cleaner has 9 units. Okay, 9 units. And the cost of the TV set is 49 lesser than the vacuum cleaner, which is 9 over 9. So which means that what is the fraction of the cost of the TV? You take 9 over 9 and you minus 4 over 9, and you will get the cost of the TV is 5 over 9. Am I correct? So which means that how many units should you draw, how many boxes should you draw for the cost of the TV? So you should draw 5 boxes. Alright, so I'm going to just take out the fraction, and you should be drawing 5 boxes for the TV. Alright, and then the vacuum cleaner will be how many boxes to draw? That will be 9 boxes to draw. Okay, so we don't do arrow pointing. Right, once you do arrow pointing, what happens? You get then your numbers will be then you'll be wrong already. Why we don't do arrow pointing is because of the more than or the less than. But if there's no less than, for example, the cost of the TV is 4 over 9 the cost of the vacuum cleaner, then you can do arrow pointing. So which means that the vacuum cleaner is 9, alright, has 9 boxes, and the TV has what? Has 4 boxes. But because of the less than, so we don't do arrow pointing. Alright, so what do? We can actually do something like this. Alright, if you like, you can actually point here. The vacuum cleaner has 9 boxes, and then you take 9 and you minus 4 and you get 5. So the TV set has 5. Alright, so but to prevent the confusion, alright, to prevent the confusion, alright, on this arrow pointing, so what I will always do is I will always put down fractions. Like the vacuum cleaner is 9 over 9, and then you minus 4 over 9, and you get 5 over 9. And that's how you get 5 and 9. Okay, so find the cost of the TV set. Alright, so once you know how to draw the model, how to interpret these fractions with more than or less than, it becomes actually very simple. So the TV has 5 boxes. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the vacuum cleaner has 9 boxes. So just draw a little longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the total cost is 1190, right? Okay, and find the cost of the TV. So your question mark is above. So looks very easy to draw. And of course, every box is 1 unit each. So how many units is the total cost? So you have 5 unit plus 9 unit. That will be total cost is 14 units. Alright, now in the exam, don't put 40 units without showing how you get 14 units, because model doesn't give you marks. So you have to indicate 5 units plus 9 units, and that's how you get 14 units. So be clear in your steps on how you get the working answers. And then your 14 unit is equal to the total, which is 1190. And then your 1 unit will be 1190 divided by 14, and you will get $85. So your 1 unit is 85. So how much is the TV? The TV costs 5 units. So 5 units will be 85 times 4, and you get $340. Okay, so very simple, right? Not quite hard. Alright, so let's go on to the other example. And again, now you have a fraction with more than. So the total mass of box A and box B is 154 kg. the mass of box A is 1/5 more than the mass of box B. So which means that box B, which is the second group, right? Second group, that will be 5/5, right? So the second group, right? In the first example, is the same, right? The second thing, second item, second person, second group, will be 5/5, and then the first group or the first box will be 1/5 plus 5/5. That will be 6/5, right? Correct? Okay, and then how do we draw the model from there? All right, so which means that box A, when you draw, how many boxes? You look at the numerator, 6. So 6 boxes to draw. And then box B, you look at the numerator, 5 boxes to draw. So that's how you draw out the boxes. Okay? And then find the mass of the heavier box. Okay, so let's draw the model. So box A has 6 boxes. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And box B has 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And the total mass of both boxes is 154 kg. Right? So find the mass of the heavier box, which is box A. So again, all the boxes are all the same. They look equal, so you call them units. So you have 6 units of box A and 5 units in box B. So total mass is 11 units. So 11 units is equal to 154 kg. And then you can find 1 unit, which is 154 divided by 11. So your 1 unit is 14 kg. And then can you find the mass of the heavier box, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 units. So 6 units will be 14 times 6. Alright, now for the purpose of not spending too much time on the steps, now in the exam you have to write 14 times 6, which is equal to 64, right? 84, right? Equal to 84 kg. But in Mr. Ong's lesson, right, for the sake of doing faster and not spending too much time on the steps, because the lesson is about the drawing, so what I will do is I will just usually put down the answers immediately. Like what is 6 unit? 14 times 6, and I will just put down 84 kg. Alright, but do take note in the exam. Some teachers do not like this. Alright, they don't like you to put down 11 unit is 154, 1 unit is equal to 14. They don't like that. So you will have to show the steps. Alright, if your teacher prefer you to do that. Okay, but in my lessons, right, I will put down the answers quickly, alright, so that we can focus on we can spend more time on the drawing. Alright, so and that's it. So we are done with this problem. So what is the mass of box A? And that is 84 kg, right? Okay, so it's a very simple lesson on fractions with more than or less than. Alright, let's go to practice problem, and let's see whether now you see something very entirely different. That's a decimal already. Okay, so let's go through this. Alright, because but if you know how to do, you can pause the video now and you try to work it out, and then you play the video again. Otherwise, then let's see how we do this practice problem. So I will use this as another example. So what happens if you see decimal? If there's a decimal in the problem, which is not very common, right? Usually you have fractions, but seldom do you see something like, after buying some game cards, Gary had 0.8 times more, right? Seldom do you see a sentence like this. Okay, but your decimal can always change into fraction. Like your percentage, you can change into fraction. Same thing for decimal. Once you change into fraction, then it becomes like a fraction problem already. Right, so if they have 252 game cards altogether, how many game cards does Gary have after his purchase? Alright, so what do we do? Well, the 0.8 times, you change it into fraction, 8 over 10, and then simplest form, 4/5. So which means that Gary has 4/5 more game cards than Winnie. So Winnie is a second person, so the second person will always be 1 whole. Okay, 1 whole, 5/5. Alright, 5/5 is 1 whole. And Gary will have 4/5 plus 5/5, that will be 9/5, right? 9/5. So how many boxes does Gary have? You look at the numerator, Gary has 9 boxes. And then Winnie, look at the numerator, Winnie has 5 boxes. And that's how you draw the model. Got it? Alright, quite easy, right? Alright, so let's draw the model. So after buying some game cards, Gary had 9 boxes. Alright, Gary has 9 boxes. So you draw a rectangle, cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And Winnie has 5 boxes. which is until here. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're actually drawing a comparison model. So why not parcel model? Okay, why not draw parcel model for this problem? It's a feeling again. All right, so when you look at this problem, if you draw the parcel model and then along the way you find that you are stuck with the drawing, you can always erase, change back to comparison model. All right, so the better model to use is comparison model, because you have two person and you are comparing their cards. Okay, so if they have 232 cards altogether, so this is the total. How many game cards does Gary have after his purchase? So your question mark will be here. And all the boxes look the same, so you call them 1 unit each. Alright, so how many boxes do they have altogether? So Gary has 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Winnie has 5 boxes. So together they have 14 units. And 14 units is 252. So your 1 unit will be 252 divided by 14. So your 1 unit is 18. So Gary has how many game cards after the purchase? So 3 unit, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Gary has 9 units. So you have 18 times 9. So answer, Gary has 162 game cards. Alright, so short and sweet, very simple problem. Alright, but it becomes very hard if you cannot interpret or you don't understand what is more than or less than. Right, what is the fraction that has more than or less than? Okay, alright, so we are coming to we are at the end of the lesson already. So the next few lessons, right, the next many lessons to come, we will continue to focus on the model drawing, and the problems will get a little harder and harder. But no matter how complex or how difficult the problem is, we can always try to draw the problem. But do take note that there'll be some problems that you may not be able to draw model. Not all the problems can be solved with model drawing. You may have some other problems that may use other methods like assumption, grouping, or some other methods. But otherwise, most of the problems, generally, you can use model drawing to solve. There'll be clues, right? Clues will tell you whether can you use model. Clues like more than, less than, 3 times, 2 times. All these are clues, right? And then you know that you can draw model. Of course, if you see fractions, you can also think about model, because model drawing is very closely related to fractions. Okay, so we come to the end of the lesson, and I will see you in the next lesson.